Rise and shine, sacred sacrifice. Rome has decided you are beautiful enough to keep, a conclusion reached without malice or enthusiasm, merely the outcome of precedent and ritual observation. In an empire this old, even devotion is bureaucratic. The year is 41 CE Rome. You are 6 years old when the knock comes. 3 measured strikes, heavy with duty. Your parents freeze. A man at the door wears white so clean it looks unreal, like marble cut into fabric. His face is sharp, his eyes colder than the stone beneath the city. When he approaches, you smell myrrh and money. Your parents do not panic when the man in white begins his inspection. Panic is for families without foresight. In prolific households like yours, daughters are raised with an understanding of their potential, like a K-pop girl group in training. You were bathed carefully, corrected often, kept intact not out of tenderness, but prudence. A Vestal in the family is a rare and useful thing, a permanent seat near power without the inconvenience of elections or enemies. So, while the Pontifex Maximus checks your teeth and turns your hands, your mother adjusts your tunic and your father practices commerce. Nothing is being declared yet, but if Rome approves, everyone in the room already knows who benefits. The Pontifex Maximus announces his decision as if there was snow announcing the Hunger Games. You are intact. Your body shows no flaw. Virginal. Acceptable. A wax tablet changes hands. You are lifted onto a cart before you know anything about being a woman. Your mother reaches for you. Your father does not. The wheels turn. Rome swallows you whole. They tell you the honor will last 30 years. The Temple of Vesta does not loom, it presides. A low, circular building of pale stone near the forum's constant noise, shaped like an ancient hearth house, as if the empire insists on pretending it's still a family. Sunlight pours through the open roof, harsh and unavoidable. There's no statue inside. There never has been. Vesta is not a face or a myth made flesh. She is function. She is the hearth itself, the belief that warmth, order, and continuity can be made permanent if watched closely enough. At the center burns the sacred fire, not symbolic, not ceremonial, a real flame, alive and temperamental, rising from a round hearth like the city's pulse made visible. Smoke curls upward, heat presses against your skin, and someone tells you, calmly, without ceremony, that if the fire dies, Rome dies with it. The statement is delivered as fact, not threat. Romans are practical about catastrophe. They prefer to prevent it through maintenance. This is what Vesta requires of you. You are not here to pray, but to observe. To stand between flame and negligence, between order and decay. Rome believes the stability of the state rests on domestic virtues scaled to empire. Discipline, restraint, repetition. Your chastity is the only ass that you have, and it truly is the most valuable one there is. Intact bodies keep intact systems. Someone must always be awake. Someone must always be watching. The fire is fed, comforted, canopied back when it gutters. Water is drawn only from running sources. Sacred mixtures are prepared by hand until routine itself becomes worship. Nothing is dramatic. Nothing is optional. Beyond the hearth lies the atrium, cool marble underfoot, air heavy with old smoke and oil. Stone likenesses of former Vestals line the walls, veiled and preserved with names and years, but no stories. You cannot tell who was honoured and who was erased. Rome honours dogma above all else. It does not itemize the cost. Your bed is narrow, straw-stuffed, your blanket thin but clean. Nothing here is cruel, and nothing is indulgent. Even comfort is regulated. The fire never goes out. Even in sleep, it breathes beside you, steady, indifferent, and eternal. Rome's heart continues to burn, and now it expects you to keep it alive. Your initiation strips you of childhood quickly and without ceremony. Cold water shocks your breath away. Shears bite your scalp. Your hair is nailed to a sacred tree like proof of payment. The veil comes next. Heavy, woolen, tight enough to ache. Chanting rises. You don't know the words, only that they are binding. You are no longer a child. The house of the Vestals is quiet in the way predators are quiet. Some girls are your age, wide-eyed and shaking. Others have learned how to stand still. One woman steps forward, older, veiled in heavier white, a purple sash across her shoulder. The Virgo Vestalis Maxima does not introduce herself. She doesn't need to. One look tells you everything you are: lowest rung, errand runner, and replaceable. The rules are simple: obey, remain pure, and keep the flame alive. Years pass. You are 11 now. You learn the rhythm of fear. Buckets hauled from the cistern, ash swept carefully, wood stacked silently, mola salsa ground by hand until your wrists ache. Mistakes are remembered. Complaints are punished. Your cerebral cortex is barely formed. So is your concept of dreams of another life or fantasies of something more. They never even had a chance to take root inside you. You were taken early enough that longing never had time to settle into shape, the mind adapting the way it always does, by narrowing its focus to what is required. The temple became your horizon before curiosity learned how to wonder, its routines replacing possibility with repetition. Home, warmth, joy. These are words you recognize rather than memories you revisit. You cannot remember when the idea of another life stopped occurring to you, only that the world became quieter once it did. The fire demands attention, not imagination. You give it what it needs, and in return, it gives you the relief of not wanting. By 16, your apprenticeship formally ends, and with it, the last pretense that you are still being trained. You are issued the full dress of a Vestal virgin, not finery, but uniform. A long, undyed linen tunic falls straight to your ankles, cinched high to keep your movements restrained. Over it, the heavy white veil is pinned forward and fixed so carefully it cannot slip, a visible marker of chastity and separation. Your hair is braided into 6 sections, bound and wrapped in the old style meant to echo Rome's earliest women, when the city still imagines itself small and domestic. You wear no jewelry meant to attract the eye. Every element signals the same message. You are the physical embodiment of Rome's everlasting glory, your soul, a beacon of Rome's superiority and might. So long as you exist intact the way you are, Rome will thrive. By 16, your apprenticeship ends without ceremony. The older Vestals stop correcting you, stop standing close. Tasks that were once supervised are simply left to you. Rome has decided you are no longer learning. You are responsible. The fire is now yours in the most literal sense. It must burn steadily at all hours, watched and adjusted like a living thing, because Romans believe it's the city's public hearth, proof that order still holds between gods and state. If it weakens, gutters, or smokes too long, it is read as warning, not accident. So you learn the mechanics of devotion. How to feed the flame evenly and how to correct it before anyone notices. How to keep ashen coals from betraying neglect. This is theology practiced as maintenance. Your duties extend beyond the hearth. Men with power seek you out for reasons they never say aloud. A Vestal's presence can legitimize a decision, steady an oath, or make a judgment look divinely unavoidable. Ancient times judged Judy, but virginal. Outside the atrium, the city treats you as an exception. People part without being told. Senators lower their eyes and criminals press close, brushing your garments in desperate hope because contact with a Vestal can interrupt punishment and force mercy into the law through religious obligation. Some call you holy, others call you blessed. Rome prefers you think of it as function. Inside the house, reverence disappears. A tremor during ritual is remembered. A task done out of sequence becomes carelessness, then impurity. If the fire ever goes out through negligence, the punishment is swift and physical, ordered by the chief priest and carried out without spectacle. Correction, here, is considered part of preservation. You learn the truth quickly. The city will honor you in public and regulate you in private. Perfect perfection is the most unrealistic thing on earth, and yet you somehow must find a way to be it at every breathing hour of every day. Your elders warn you about the vow often, as if repetition makes it kinder. Break it, and you will not be executed. You will be buried alive. At 26, your veil is heavier now, pinned forward and kept immaculate. Its folds arranged the way senior Vestals insist they should be. Your hair is braided with practiced precision, no loose strands, no softness left to chance. Years of tending fire and rituals have altered you in small, visible ways. Your posture fixed by long watches, your hands marked by ash and salt, and your voice trained to carry authority without raising itself. You have grown from girl to woman, and you are lovely. Stern, stoic, but lovely. When the new girl arrives, she studies you the way you once studied the statues lining the atrium, silently, carefully, already understanding that you are not here to comfort her. Training is methodical. You show her how the hearth is managed, when to feed the fire, how to correct it before smoke becomes noticeable, how to read weakness in a flame the way others read weather. You teach her where to stand, how to move without haste, how to carry water drawn only from running sources without spilling a drop. You drill her in the grinding of grain and salt into molar salsa, the exact pressure, the correct rhythm, the way repetition replaces thought. You explain which gestures must be altered, which mistakes are remembered, and which questions are not asked. You are careful with her, not gentle, careful. Rome does not reward kindness, it rewards continuity. What you pass down is not belief or inspiration, it's survival wrapped in the cotton soft fibres of devotion. And then, watching her mirror your movements, something settles that you cannot unlearn. Training a replacement is not simply mentorship, it is confirmation. You understand now what this stage of service signifies, that Romans began arranging for your absence long before your body is finished. It is a quieter kind of death than the one you were warned about as a child, but no less final. Standing across from her, you remember being that small, newly arrived, old enough to understand that something had ended the moment you crossed the threshold. No ceremony named it, no rite marked it, but your childhood died here all the same. Not violently, just completely. Now, with steady hands and a voice shaped by years of obedience, you are asked to participate in that same ending. You do not take pleasure in it. You do not resist it. You teach her because this is how Rome survives. Not by mourning what it takes, but by replacing it before anyone is allowed to notice the loss. At 36, your service ends. There is no procession, no crowd, no announcement made to the city. Rome does not reward what you are obligated to do. You perform the rituals you have performed for decades, in the same order, with the same precision. You tend the fire one last time, feeding it carefully, correcting its breath as you always have. When you step back, another set of hands takes your place. The flame does not waver. That is the point. Your veil is adjusted and then removed. Not ceremonially, efficiently. The weight you have worn for 30 years is lifted and set aside as an object, no longer attached to you. No one thanks you. No one needs to. The system has worked. You are released. You are free. Legally, it's true. You are one of the few women in the city who no longer belongs to any man and establishment. You do not require a guardian. You may own property outright, manage your own finances, write a will, appear in court. These privileges are extraordinary, so rare that they unsettle people who don't know how to place you. Men who command households defer to you. Magistrates listen when you speak. Your name carries weight long after you stop tending the fire. And yet, freedom arrives late, and it arrives incomplete. The state provides you with a stipend, generous, steady, and impersonal. You are housed in a respectable home not far from the temple, solidly built, lavish, but not ornate. Stone floors, tabloid walls, a small courtyard with a fountain, slaves to serve you, nothing lavish enough to invite envy. You never marry. You are allowed to, in theory. In practice, Men avoid the idea. A woman who lived 30 years outside the household is considered dangerous, too independent, too associated with the gods, too unfamiliar with obedience in its domestic form. To marry a former Vestal is said to bring misfortune. Even in freedom, you are not ordinary. People recognize you in the street. They lower their voices. They make space. Some still reach for your presence in moments of dispute, as if your proximity alone might steady an argument or legitimize a decision. You are revered, consulted, deferred to, and quietly excluded. You exist just outside the shape of normal life, a relic that still breathes. Years pass this way. You manage your household with the same discipline you once applied to ritual. You keep accounts, you receive visitors, you observe festivals from the margins. The fire continues to burn without you. Rome continues without pause. The world you were trained to preserve no longer requires your attention and offers no replacement purpose in return. At 58, you fall ill with a fever. There is no drama in it, no divine meaning assigned. Your body, long regulated, finally falls out of order. You are attended properly. Your affairs are already in order. When you die, the city notes it respectfully and moves on. You are remembered as what you were, not a wife, not a mother, a small ember in an empire's ever-burning pyre.